Hello everybody, Josh12 back on the TV couch to talk all things Supergirl. Yes, tonight was the Supergirl Season 2 premiere, and I'm here to give you my official thoughts on it. Now, of course, I'm here to review Supergirl Season 2 Episode 1 titled The Adventures of Supergirl. And of course, if you've not seen tonight's episode, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into the official Season 2 premiere of CW Supergirl. So, since Supergirl's transition from Season 1 to 2, there's been a big discussion on the internet about what's going to happen, what's new, what's demoted, what's going on, why is Superman here, the move to CW, what's going to happen, budget cuts, cast changes. There was a big discussion on the internet since Season 1's ending, and for me personally, I didn't really listen into any of that shit. For me, all I really want is a good show. I like Supergirl. I think it had a lot of promise in Season 1. Granted, a lot of that fell short in a lot of areas, but for the most part, I enjoyed what they kind of were going for in Season 1. I think they accomplished at serving justice, if you will, to the Superman brand, or the Superverse, if you could call it that. And even though I really had a lot of hit or misses, for the most part, it's very divisive for me. I like Supergirl, but then I don't like it. It's very much divisive, and that's just my personal thoughts on it. So going into the newest season, all I really know is that Superman's going to show up. They're moving to CW, and that's pretty much it. That's all I really know about Supergirl Season 2. And tonight's episode, there's not really much else to speak about that because that's pretty much all it really is. Supergirl Season 2 starts off with basically explaining the changes. It's a CW network show now, so they have different sets. We have similar ones that we did keep from the previous season, but for the most part there are changes, but nothing too significant. And of course Superman has showed up, and he seems to be like a new supporting cast member, and I have no problems with that. A lot of people going into Season 2 had a lot of problems with Superman showing up. They thought it would demean the Supergirl character. A lot of people felt it was just CW or the Supergirl creators' way of being like, hey, this is our way of trying to get viewers. This is desperate moves. I don't really care. I say having Superman in a TV show in general is a big win. And after watching the premiere, it was definitely a win for everyone. Supergirl, DC, and Warner Brothers to really ump up the show, but not only the show, but the Superman brand, which has, for a lot of people, including myself, has been destroyed because of what the movies have done with the characters. So it is what it is, but I loved it. I loved the episode premiere. I thought it was really good. Now let's start off with Superman, because that's obviously going to be the main discussion for the Season 2 premiere, and he is pretty much the main focal point. He is significantly the main character of the episode, even more than Supergirl, which was expected, but it is what it is. And I have to say, yes, I have had several videos discussing Tyler's casting, Superman showing up in CW, all this kind of stuff. And for me, for people who had problems with it, I have to say one thing: it's your fault. Because if you're a DC defender and this weird warped mind of yours and you think this is a bad thing, it's really your fault for supporting the multiverse theory that WB and DC have been going for since the movies have been developing post Man of Steel. So it's kind of your fault at the end of the day, and all I can say is good thing it's your fault, because even though I say movies and TV shows should be separate, but then again they should share similarities, or just it should just be one cohesive consistent universe like Marvel. At the end of the day, they gave us a pretty awesome Superman, so I'm okay with it. Moving off of that, Superman himself, I would definitely say that I still stick to my guns on the casting. I still feel that they should have casted older. I don't like the fact that majority of the episode when filming Superman, he is pretty much just scaled up camera-wise to make him look bigger and have more of a presence. And I feel like, disregarding Tyler's acting skills or performance as Superman and Clark Kent, he just doesn't look the part. For me, he just has that presence of a Superboy rather than Superman, and that has a lot to do with the fact that he and Kara are the same age, or he and Melissa Benoist rather, they're the same age, so it's kind of hard to have this suspension of disbelief. However, I will admit, kudos for CW for making the joke where the character Wynn comes up and he's kind of like, you're older, but you look a little younger. It's that classic, like, Wolverine and Kryptonians and, like, all these other, it's like the Peter Pan complex. They're just characters that are designed to be a specific look. It's like, whenever a comic book writer writes an age, that's their fucking age, and it's pretty much their age forever. So it is what it is. I have no qualms with it, with the joke. But I still feel, sticking to my guns, they should have went a little older. They should have just went full on Alex Ross, in my opinion. But moving off of that, Tyler as Clark and Superman. At first, I was like, I don't know. Now, I want him to be on every fucking show as Superman. I loved him as Superman. Look, the comparisons are going to happen. As disrespectful as it is, it's going to happen. He is pretty much my favorite Superman right now, even more than Henry Cavill. And I love Henry, he's a great guy and all, and the comparisons will happen. It's unfortunate, but it will happen. And I don't want to demean Henry as an actor or his presence as Superman, but the thing is that if there's anything to take away from the season 2 premiere of Supergirl, is that they embrace the lighthearted silliness of the character Superman. Because let's face facts, Superman, even though he's a golden god, he is still a silly, stupid, campy child's plaything. He's a stupid character. And to make him brooding and dark and realistic or surrealistic or whatever the fuck the movies try to do, it's a different flavor. And it's a flavor that I feel like a lot of us have grown old of. It's become stale at this point. So it's just nice not trying to overly bash Snyder or Henry Cavill in their Superman antics, but it's just nice to have this new brush of fresh air where we get a new interpretation. And after watching all of the sequences of Clark and Superman on screen, I have to say, it's kind of like losing a toy when you're a kid and then getting it back when you're in your 30s. It's just like getting something back that you've lost for a long time. It's seeing an old friend again. It's seeing something familiar and something that embraces what you love. And that's what Tyler does as Superman in Supergirl. I loved it. I think his presence was good. I still feel they should have went older, but that's just my only qualm with it. His acting is great. His performance as Clark Kent is superb. His visuals of Superman, of course, the movies will always be better, but if you call yourself a Superman fan and the only thing you find interesting is when Superman punches things, yeah, it's like, then you really don't know what you're talking about, because what Tyler accomplishes, what the CW as a whole accomplished, is give us a great Superman, and they did that, and I love it. Still don't like the costume. The costume looks like shit for me. Subjectively, I think the costume looks like shit. And I still feel they should have went with an older actor who looks a little bit more like Alex Ross Superman. But in the long run, Tyler killed it. He was great. And I think it's a great decision that they bring him back for more episodes. And I think it would be a great decision to bring him back as a whole for the rest of the season and maybe other TV shows. So that's all I can really say. It's an A+ home run in my book. Moving off of that, everyone else, pretty okay. Melissa Benoist comes back as Zor-El Supergirl, and she kills it as always. She's been pretty much consistent with her performance. If there's anything that bothered me with her character this episode, is her inabilities to really know what she wants. I feel like with trying to promote a super empowering female character lead, it's just best to have her just really know what she wants and get it. And she does do that by the end of the episode, but I just didn't like the whole hassle of like getting there. That's just my personal qualm. Also, for the rest of the cast, they're pretty okay. They're really non-existent for the most of the episodes, seeing as how it's pretty much a Supergirl Superman show, which I feel like, oh fuck it, just make the whole season that way. But because of TV rights and movie rights and all this kind of shit, it won't happen. But I'm just saying that they probably should. But at the end of the day, other things. The main villain really was whatever, but they will be bringing him back for other things, so I think it'll be okay. Other actors, the Wynn character, I really don't understand why he's working with the DEO, and on top of that, the DEO as a whole, what the fuck? I mean, like, who really gives a shit? I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it like S.H.I.E.L.D. of Marvel, and it's just, don't do that, please. CW and DC, just don't do that. It's like, you tried to do that in season 1, it didn't work. I feel like just keep it an underground like subsidiary of a government base instead of making it like, oh, we're S.H.I.E.L.D., we work in a tall building in the middle of the city. It's like, and we're a public organization. No, don't do that. Change the outfits. I hate that shit. Like, you're trying to make every other character look like a spy espionage. We're SWAT. No, I just don't like that. I didn't like that. The set looks cool, I'll give them that, but they've been throwing some money and it's cool and all, but the change to being underground to being public, I'm not a big fan of that. Also, James Olsen, whatever. I didn't really care for his character this episode. It's like they're trying to create shifts or rifts, if you will, ripples within the relationship status of Zor-El, and I really didn't buy it. It was really cheesy and stupid in my book, and I really feel like if you're gonna be with someone, be with someone. If you want to have second doubts, have second doubts, but don't fucking drag it out for the majority of the episode. It's just, we went through this season 1, not again with season 2, and it's just like, you know what, fuck it. Just, dude, if you're gonna be DC, fucking just fuck up Supergirl the same way you did with Wonder Woman. Just do it. I mean, DC dropped the bomb recently, if you don't know, where they were like, Wonder Woman's bisexual now. It's like, fuck it. You know what? If you don't know how to make a good love interest storyline with Supergirl in season 2, make her gay too. Fuck it. You know what? If you're gonna make fuck it. If you're gonna do that to Wonder Woman, might as well do it for everyone else. Just make every superpowered female character just fucking gay or a lesbian or something. Just go do it. I don't know. It's just, I'm sick and tired of this love interest, lovey-dovey, CW cheese. I'm just sick of it at this point. But that's just me. But overall, the episode was great. I liked it. I think it was a good, solid premiere episode. And for a person who had a very divisive opinion on season 1, I feel like season 2 is definitely starting off great. And if they keep Superman the way they've been doing them, I feel like this show could be probably better than The Flash. I'm just saying. I mean, if you're a viewer or subscriber of my channel, then you know how hardcore of a fan I am of Son Goku and Dragon Ball and that stuff. And I love Goku more than Superman, but I had huge feels, folks. I had the feels. I had a big smile on my face. It's like, it's Superman. It's always a great moment when you just sit down, relax, and and you feel like a kid again. You're like, holy, it's Superman, and he said Perry White and Lois Lane and Lex Luthor. Oh, what is he doing? It's like, it's so great, and I love the CW for accomplishing that. And with that fact, we're just that step closer to, I'm just saying, we're just that step closer to Batman. I know because the Gotham and TV rights or whatever, fuck that noise. Fuck it up its ass. We need Batman. You did Superman, great, justice. Now it's time for Batman, folks. CW, get up on that shit. But overall, my opinion is this was a great season premiere. I liked it. The acting was pretty good. Superman was awesome. Supergirl was also equally awesome. The effects were pretty good. Action was nice. Characterizations were great. They were spot on anybody and everyone, and I like the fact that they really did a shift to CW. I know that was a big qualm, like, oh, why did they move all that? I don't really care. I feel like it works for Marvel to have home bases in different places and different networks. It works for them. They have Netflix, ABC, Disney XD or whatever the fuck. It works for them. But DC, I always felt it was stupid for them to branch out in different subsidiaries of Warner Brothers and different TV networks. I always felt it was stupid because CW is and continues to be the true home base for DC since the WB, since Smallville. It's always been that. So the fact that it's made this move and it's finally here, I think it's a great move. I think it's a great choice. And I feel like moving forward, we can only expect great things from Supergirl. And that's pretty much all I can really say. As it stands, Supergirl Season 2, Episode 1 gets a solid 8 out of 10 for me. It was really good. It was really enjoyable. There was some cheesiness, stupidity with the Kara character and her choices and the lovey-dovey shit and the Wynn character. I wasn't really buying any of that. And the comedy still isn't my choice of comedy. I feel like the comedy in Supergirl is very hacky, in my opinion, especially with the Cat Grant character. So I can't really, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me, so I can't really get down with it. But this episode did justice to Superman, it did justice to Supergirl, it did justice to the Superman brand and embraced everything great and silly and campy about it, and I love that fact. And overall, that's all I can say. Comment below and let me know what you personally think. And also keep in mind that I'm not trying to go out of my way to bash Henry Cavill or Zack Snyder or what DC's doing with the movies. I'm just saying that I can't really get on board with their choices, and I just feel like what they should do what CW continues to do, which is embrace their comic book roots, yet making it relatable and embracing the fact that they are silly characters. You know, I like the fact that they've done that. So overall, Supergirl Season 2 opened up with a bang, and I love it, and I can't wait for Episode 2, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, on a side note, like last season, I didn't particularly review every episode because I kind of got lost within the show, and it was very hard to tune in every week to watch the show. So for this season, I haven't really decided yet if I'm going to review or watch every single episode of the season the same way I do with Flash and Arrow. So for the most part, I'm going to play it week to week. So just stay tuned to my channel, and I'll probably make an update about that in a following review. But I will be back for episode 2. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And of course, with that being said, shameless plug time. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh12. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Josh12.
My name is Kara Zor-El. 24 years ago, my planet was in peril. My cousin, Kal-El, was sent to a planet called Earth. You may know his story. You don't know mine. Until now.